Hello everyone. Today is prep day for the ferrets. We have 7 of them, so they eat a lot. This is the box that we got our food in. It comes frozen from here today, gone tomorrow, and it's approximately 60 pounds worth. It's quite a bit of food, and I didn't get the turkey or the chicken and all that because I can get that at my grocery store. These are solid as a rock, frozen right now. So if you do order from them and get this box in the mail, most of the time it's going to be solid as a rock, which is good. Because it's frozen. It's okay to thaw it out, and then we're going to put it in plastic bags. Stephanie's gone to the store to get plastic baggies. When we're done putting them in the plastic bags, they will look something like this and labeled. They're flat, so they stack on top of each other in order, and we give them like 4 proteins 4 nights a week. We don't switch proteins off daily like we used to, because we can keep an eye on allergies. The hearts and stuff, we have a whole bunch more downstairs. They get this a couple times a week, because even though that stuff's whole ground, I'm not sure which ferret is actually getting the heart in the whole ground. So I want to make sure that all my ferrets get 1 full meal of that as need be, especially with the liver, because the liver, they can't get too much liver. It's bad for them. They can get vitamin A toxicity. So I give them 1 meal of that once a week, and that's it, besides from what they're getting in their whole ground. The poultry I got, well, close to it as it gets, is duck. Some of them have chicken allergies, so then I have to turn to the ground mutton. The ground mutton is good for them because it's very gentle on their tummies. My experience is that when I give them this, when they have some sort of protein allergy, this straightens them out, and thanks to the Holistic Ferret Forum and the people on there who are experienced with this told me to try it, and hey, it works. So thanks to them for helping me with their expertise in that. So the rabbit, I get coarse ground because I know they can handle rabbit in the wild on their own, and they can handle the bones of a rabbit. Same with the duck. They can handle the duck bones now. So I get it coarse ground. The only thing I don't get coarse ground, I get fine ground, is the ground mutton. So and sometimes what I do, even with that, is when they have their ground mutton day, I will actually add the proper portioned amount of finely ground eggshell to that, because I don't know how much bone is actually in this ground since it's whole prey, and I don't want to chance it. So this is what we're doing, and Stephanie's gone to get the bags, and it will probably take us about 3 or 4 hours to prep everything, and it'll last a couple months. So, but yeah, I just wanted to show everybody that, and it'll take a couple hours to thaw out in here, and I just cut it with the regular electric knife when it's fine enough, or if it gets really thawed out, what I do is I just pull it off with my hands, shove it in the bag, and smash it down so it'll stack really nice. And that's what we do, and I'm so glad I switched them over to raw because they are healthy and happy, and I'm guilt-free now and not giving them kibble. So thanks for watching, and see you all soon.
Okay. Hi, it's ferret prep day. We've already done a lot of the meat. We pretty much cut it down into these little cube things, and we got a whole tray of those over here to let them fall just a tiny bit so we can rebag those. Right now we're just going to do the rabbit. We just got done sheep and duck.
Yum.
So
Lick
she's
fingers.
cutting the outer layers off, and I am bagging them.
Yeah,
it's a system we have here.
So anyway, so we have already wrote on the bags first, because that way we don't have to touch the marker and all that stuff. And after each kind of batch, we clean up and start over again. So, and my golden doodle has her nose in the bag.
She was licking the sheep bricks earlier, by the way.
I need another pan. It's best to have some cookie sheets so we can take the excess meat and put it in there, since I don't have much room up here on my cutting board. I could put another cutting board next to this, but you can see the center of it's solid as a rock. The top of it is ready to go into bags, so that's why those other pieces on that other tray are like solid as a rock block. But you can see it's starting to mush in a little bit. So crazy with them in a minute with the cutting.
Yeah, I was over there enjoying a vape, and she looks at me with the meat cutter and do what you do.
Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's it.
Not as scary as most, but it'll work. So, and sometimes I just stand these.
You can do it. You can use a large spoon to put this in a bag. You know, whatever you want. I use my hands because it's just easier, and I don't care.
Sorry about all the noise, but that's the way it is. And because this is coarse ground, you're going to hit some bone once in a while, which means you probably have to go at it at another angle, but eventually you learn. Sometimes it's easier just to pull it off and pull it apart. Like that. Hit a bone and then it breaks free. Keep your fingers away and
yeah, don't do what I'm doing and like reaching under the blade.
no, that's a bad idea. That would be bad. I don't feel like
I'm sure the ferrets won't be able to tell the difference.
No, they wouldn't. Finger's probably quite tasty to them.
So the majority of the air bubbles are out of the bag, so that way when you go to refreeze it, you don't have that much of an issue with freezing them.
I'm just going to cut it on this cookie sheet because it's easier that way.
Here, you all bite.
And actually, after you start working with raw meat after a while, it does look sort of appetizing after a while. And you start relating
you start
to
to
your
get into
ferrets.
the mindset of the ferret, and you're like, that would look, if I ate raw meat, that would be delicious.
Exactly. Except when we're talking about liver. Oh, what was the worst? Brain?
Lung.
No,
The
lung.
lung. For
It
some reason, lung
smells.
smells really weird.
So if I was a ferret, I wouldn't be into the lung. But they like the lung. I don't know why. They just do. But this is how we spend quality mother-daughter time together in the kitchen. It's not as conventional
We don't
as
cook
some. We're not
meatloaf.
baking
We don't,
cookies.
We're prepping raw meat for ferrets.
We have carnivores to feed.
Anywho. So this is about as full as you want to get the bags. Make sure you get the majority of the air out.
There you go.
And we want to keep it a little flat so they stack nicely in your freezer.
And when we feed that to the ferrets, we take one of them out of the freezer the night before, and we give half the bag for 7 ferrets. We give half the bag to them in the morning, take that out, exchange it for a new batch at night. Usually there's none left. Wash the bowl out, change their water, and some of them like it sitting in there for a while, so they'll take it and stash it and not even eat it until the next day. So every morning we go through the cage when they're out to play, and we pull out any meat they've stashed, stored, or otherwise just wanted to play with. So.
No, that's rabbit.
Oh, so we're doing rabbit now.
So
We just found a whole organ intact. It's probably the heart.
I don't know. It might be a kidney.
I don't know. But while you're doing this, what happens is you get a whole lesson in anatomy. I know it seems strange.
I'm gonna show you this because I
She's
don't know.
fascinated by little organs,
but
and we're trying to identify it.
This is what
Could be a kidney. Could be a heart.
it looks like. It reminds me of a kidney.
It does.
You got this little string thing hanging off of it. So it might be a kidney, to be honest. It doesn't look like a heart to me. It's not tough enough to be a heart, so it might be a kidney.
Well, Stephanie, her fascination with the anatomy of all living things is either one, she's very sick and warped and twisted, or two, she's apt to become a doctor one day. And the number two.
As I'm sitting here
scenario.
playing with whatever organ this is.
Yeah, she's always been like this, even as a child. So
Granted, I never took apart, small animals when I was little. Just throwing that out there.
No, she loves animals to death. She really does. That's why she wants to become a vet. So.
The ferrets are going to love that, by the way.
You think the people are sitting there that are going, ew, that's disgusting.
Oh my God, how could you do that to another?
Do you eat beef? Do you eat burgers? Tell them your plant story.
Oh yeah, science discovered that plants can hear themselves being eaten.
That's sad. That's sad and disturbing.
Balls in your court, vegans.
If you anyway, just because you have to feed it meat. I don't care what you like. But on the other hand, there are some animals that don't eat any meat at all. Don't get a bird because they do eat meat and insects. Let's see. Cows don't eat meat either, do they?
No. Chimpanzees eat meat.
Oh, yeah.
They'll
Don't
kill
get
other
a
chimpanzees and then
don't
eat
get
them
any
as a
fish.
trophy.
Don't get a fish because fish do eat meat. They eat other fish, by the way. I could never
depending on the fish.
feed anything live, and I believe that in the wild, animals do what they have to do to survive, and the
Yeah,
weakest,
but they usually kill them
the weakest
quickly.
get weeded out, and they kill them quickly. And the other thing is the animals at least have a fair shot at getting away. To corner an animal for your pet, to me, I think is very cruel. So I personally, if I had a mouse to feed or some little critter and I was feeding live and my ferrets hurt him in any way, I would be making a trip to the vets with that little creature. So I'd stand there and cry. I cried over a cow tongue one day. I bawled my eyes out over a cow tongue one day. For some reason, I just couldn't find myself. Somebody's at the door. Well, that's kind of creepy.
That's fine. You have a meat blade.
I'll get him with my saw.
Oh, it's the old guy walking the street with dogs.
Oh, should I go scare him with my electric knife?
Just run out the
Run
door.
out with a piece of raw meat in my hand. Run to the yard.
No, I think we should take that kidney and whip it at him. His dog will eat it. It's fine.
You know what? At least he picks up after his dogs.
This is true.
He's a nice man. Unlike some people in the neighborhood that let their dogs squat all over my yard. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way. And by the way, we don't dress up to do these videos. It's just like,
Come here.
food prep day is,
Come here,
I'm
Max.
going to dress like
Come
a
on.
bum day and I don't give a damn day. So, anyway, oh my. They don't have makeup on, nothing. They're not dressed up to do a video. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right? Did somebody patent that sound?
Yeah, probably. I know candy, the word candy is copyrighted. Because of
Yeah.
Candy Crush.
You can actually copyright a word, a thing, an
Yeah.
object. That's.
I want to copyright the word twat. So I'll
I said food prep video. You know what I meant.
food prep.
Yeah, so this is where we usually switch up, and but before I switch, I usually go, I need to wash my hands, and I need to go take a hit off my e-cigarette because I like my e-cigarette and my soda, and I really need a break right now because I've been at this for
2 hours.
only 2 hours.
Only 2.
So and we've got all that left, so it's approximately 4 hours worth of prep, and I've been procrastinating a little bit today.
I
'Cause
took
my
a nap.
allergies are bugging me, and my eyes are burning all day. So, yeah, I'm gonna let her cut this for a while and wash my hands and go smoke an e-cig. So, yay!
Now, one bag, since most people only have like 2 ferrets or so, one bag will probably last you 2 days.
And that's fine to
Honestly.
leave it in the refrigerator that long. It really is. In the wild, how long they leave their food out? What kind of deplorable conditions do they leave their food in caves?
Well, let's see. They leave it in like a week in their little tunnels. They piss on it so nothing else, wants to eat it. And then they eat it like another week later.
And chicken jerky that's been sitting out for 48 hours is their favorite. And they usually, I don't know, they put it on top of the vent, like as it to like warm it up more, or I don't know why they do. Well, Milton does. He
I don't
likes
know.
to put it out there.
One of our ferrets like to put his food on the vent during the winter time to warm up his food.
He won't eat it cold. Definitely won't eat it cold. So this is the reason we go through all we go through. Oh, welcome back, by the way. And this is Milton.
Look,
Found
an
an
eyeball.
And
It's a rabbit eye.
oh,
I see
oh my, that's horrible.
I like that. They like the eyeballs.
It's
Looking at you.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's like a. All right. Now I have to set this up on this tripod and figure out how to do this. So let's. Do I screw it in? Whee! I hope you guys had fun. That was really fun. All right, there she is, and she's cutting away. So it's her
Another
turn
one?
now.
No, it's a knuckle.
It's her turn. Okay, but see, I'm going to show you the spoon method.
A lot of strange things. I got a
So
rinse
this
off
way,
the cutting board.
using the spoon, you don't have to get meat on your hands. Did you just
Shoot rabbit juice down my cleavage? Yes.
That's funny.
I just took a shower too. I don't know why.
Later.
It doesn't make any kind of sense at all.
Now,
Note to self, wait till after food prep to shower.
yep, that's what I'm doing.
My boyfriend's gonna be like, why do you smell funny?
So, I just lost my track of thinking. Because of that dream you told me you had. That's funny.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know why. I had a dream my boyfriend cheated on me with this little Asian girl that had both a vagina and a penis. And I woke up and I was like, what?
See,
It's the internet, there is no such thing.
As TMI?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there is, but the majority of
Oh
it's unexpected, so.
yeah, that was bad. But the most priceless time was watching you separate the brains of the rabbit's skull, and the rabbit's skull and cutting it in half.
Only because it was like trying to frickin' bowl with a rabbit head.
Well, you had to hold on to its eyeballs to get a grip. Meat in my, what do you call those things? The grooves in which you latch the bag. The seal?
Yeah. The zip?
The zip? The zippy seal thing. Like when you get meat in there, it just goes wrong. It doesn't feel right. So I usually put half the bag bulging, filled, and then when I get it to the halfway point is when I take and smush it on down, and then it comes up to about here, and that's okay to seal at that point. And the thinner you make it, the less...
I overcompensate.
Yeah, the thinner the bag is, the more it's going to thaw out. The faster it's going to thaw out for you.
It can only fall so much.
But if you forget to take it out the night before, and you got little ones up wanting food at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you better hope that stuff thaws out. And sometimes what you can do
because otherwise they'd be getting meat sickles, which some of them like, some of them
well, if it's, what happens is, if it's actually thin enough and it's still frozen, you could break pieces off and put that frozen piece in there, and they'll eat it anyway. It's fine. Chicken wing tips.
That's where we go to get our poultry and beef and stuff like that.
Because around here you can't like get duck, rabbit, weird Asian markets.
Pennsylvania is very famous for its pork, its cows.
Typical things that human beings eat here in the USA. But
pretty sure I just sliced myself on this
bone. All right. So, are we recording now?
Yes,
We're back. Hey.
Bye. Sorry.
Stephanie just got done cutting up the meat, and I'm still stuffing the meat into bags. And I'm using a spoon.
Ah, she's stuffing the
I'm
meat.
stuffing it.
Ah,
You are so wrong in so many ways.
You raised me.
No, I don't take total responsibility for that. I've met your friends, and
it's the internet.
Internet's. You've been on the dark side of the internet, so you can find chicken, turkey, and stuff at our local grocery stores up here on sale, and you have to watch that they're not enhanced in any way. If sometimes they put added salt in meats, you don't want to give your ferrets that, or your dogs for that matter. And I guess in the dog community too, it's called the barf diet, and we call feeding meats from your grocery store and Asian markets and your local butcher. And what we do, it's called the Frankenprey menu, and it's not that complicated once you get used to doing it. And if you knew what was going into your dog foods, and just do some research on that, by the way.
Cornmeal, delicious.
Anyway, what did animals eat?
Babies.
Human scraps. Babies. Small children.
Small children.
You just have to consider
The local brat.
kibble came along as a convenience to humans. Now look how many conveniences to humans have pretty much destroyed, or are destroying our planet. Our
Done yet.
arguments.
You gonna put that in their bowl? You are not gonna waste another bag for that child.
This the ferrets get now, and I'm going to put this right in their bowl. And the only reason is because most of our proteins, we make sure if you get something like roadkill, deer, let's say you get a deer, make sure to avoid parasites. We freeze it for 2 weeks to make sure it kills the parasites off. This stuff's already been frozen, so we don't have to worry about it. And I'm gonna smack the hell out of you. So we take nothing really serious around here, but this is serious. So yeah, freeze your meats.
Freeze your meat.
Freeze your meat before you feed it.
Hold my weave.
Is that one copyrighted too?
Hold my weave? I don't think so.
Oh,
I'm kidding, I don't wear a weave. That's complicated. I don't know, did they eat the food bowl too?
Look at that! Yum, 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 yum. There you go! Look at that food! Yes! And Milton's sleeping in his... Right. Yeah, sleeping in the little one. So anyway, all the babies are sleeping.
They're ferrets, they sleep.
They sleep...
In case you didn't know.
Ferrets sleep about...
Forever?
When a day. They actually
Ferrets
got
live
the
forever for about 14 to 16 hours
They get
out
out
a
to
day at
play.
least.
I just woke this one up. This is our
Hi,
baby.
Izzy.
She is the youngest. Izzy.
Izzy.
And
And
if you're ISIS.
she is a sweetheart. And I just woke her up. And she's looking around going, look at all this
She's like,
food.
what is that face? Get it out of me.
But I started her off on raw right out from the pet store. She wants at that so bad. Don't you, little girl? Yes, you do. What's all that food? You hungry? You hungry? You want the whole plate? No, she wants to get down. And when they first wake up, the problem is they usually use the
just want to
bathroom
poop, which is
right
probably
away.
why she wants to get down,
She's
because she has to
squirming.
poop.
Right. And they go in their corner usually.
Unless you're our 8-year-old Zoe, who's old and senile and doesn't care where she has to take a shit.
So that was Izzy.
Are you going to introduce all of them right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And this is our Chubbs, who we call Trouble. And Chubbs is pretty much a shy guy, but he does like to socialize with the humankind. And he loves to dig in water, and it's his favorite pastime. And he's kind of sleepy right
he's the
now.
ferret equivalent of a Down syndrome kid, which is called Wartenberg syndrome in ferrets.
He's a little slow to learn, but he's very lovable.
He's got a very special look to his face, and he's always happy. Always ducking.
Except for right now, he's been sleeping, so I just woke him up too to introduce you to him.
But it doesn't matter if you punish him, put him in the cage for doing something wrong. He doesn't get it, and he doesn't care, because right when he'll get into a scuffle with another ferret, and he'll just continue to duck. He doesn't care.
So he's a sweetie pie. Chubbles. Kisses.
Kisses? No, is it too early?
Yeah. Say my tongue toy. I was sleeping with my tongue hanging out. Are you looking at that food? What? Do you want that? His little heart beat, and I was like, what's that noise? What's that noise? This little girl is Hera, and she is a baby, and she looks kind of big, but she is very light, and but she's big for a female. But she is a sweetheart.
She's mostly fluff.
She is very fluff. She's very fluff, and with this fluff and how healthy and energetic they usually are simply because they're on raw. They didn't have this much energy when they were fed kibble, and their fur definitely did not look this pretty when they were fed kibble.
Yeah.
And they smell wonderful.
They smell like molasses and clean linen.
I think their tail smells like grape juice.
You're weird.
Right. Yes. Yes. I know she wants food too. That's